Forever equip summons. Here we go. I'm gonna be straight honest with you guys. This forever equip summon is nothing short of a doozy. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people from this actually gets heavily shafted, but we're not here to talk about that in this video. Here in this video, it's time to get a little bit serious, OP. Calm down with all the editing and everything. We need to talk about the serious stuff. What all is on the forever equip summon and what I recommend that you guys go for. Just as a disclaimer, there is a lot of equipment on this banner. Just to give you an idea of what we have pretty much every single summer equip on this banner, every single Christmas equip on this banner. We have pretty much every true weapon in the game on the banner, excluding some, of course. And we also have every Halloween equip on the banner. I don't know if I've said that yet, but so there's a lot to go for here. And I'm going to be trying to recommend something from each category. And I recommend everybody who's watching this, going in, especially to this one, going into this forever summon, I highly recommend that you have multiple goals set so you don't get shafted. Because there's a lot of equips. There is a lot. And the last thing I want you guys to do is get shafted on this forever summon, because this thing lasts from the 30th of this month all the way to the 28th. So it's not that long. You don't have that much time, to be honest. So let's get into this. Hold on to your seats, ladies and gentlemen, because it's time to peep into the mind of OP, which really isn't a gigamind. I have a very similar mind to a goldfish, I feel like, because I forget a lot of stuff. So like I said, I'm going to be recommending a few choices from each of the equips, starting with the physical attack equips, then magic, of course, defense, healing, and support. We'll also be having timestamps in the description if you want to skip to a specific part to see what you should be pulling for, maybe for that exact typing. Now, because I'm doing this, this does not mean... Are you listening? Hey! All right, just want to make sure I had your attention. My bad for yelling. This does not mean you are able to get multiple or get one from each category. How this forever summon works, if you've never been a part of forever summon, is that every single day you log in, you'll get a forever summon button that pops up. You click summon on it and it will roll the gacha and you'll get one of these equips. The thing is that you're not able to select what you get. It's just random, so it's any of the pulls that you see here. And as you can tell, that is a lot of equips. You only get 28 chances pretty much to summon on that. Technically 29 if you stay up whenever the maintenance ends, because it's a very finicky system, but technically it'll let you get 2 rolls on that one day after maintenance, but don't do that. Don't be a fiend. Don't stay up. Get some sleep. You need it. So yeah, going into this, even though I'm recommending equipment from each of the different typings that are on this, that doesn't mean that you're able to summon multiple different ones, or you're able to summon one from each category. Not at all. I just want to get that across before we get any further in this video. Now, going into the 5-star physicals, this will be the first category that we talk about. There's a lot in here, and I'll mention pretty much every single top tier thing that I notice and tell you whether or not you should go for it. Now, of course, the 5-star physicals or any of the equipment on this, I highly recommend that you guys go look as well, because there's so many. Or go back about 10-20 seconds, pause the video on the entire list of all the equipment to kind of see if there's anything that you should be going for specifically. But in my humble opinion, I'm gonna be telling you the stuff that is good on pretty much a lot of different characters. So first and foremost, True Izanagi. Amazing equip. True Izanagi is of course Emira's true weapon, so if you need her true weapon as well, you can get it. But True Izanagi is one of the best Archgen items in the game. It's only rivaled by a few different Archgen items, but most of them are actually crossover items. True Izanagi though is amazing on any type of support unit that has a 5-star physical slot, or any type of attacker that wants to get some Archgen. I use it on my Batiste, for example. Overall, a really good equip. You really can't go wrong. If you see this pop up, there's really not a reason not to grab it. It's constant Archgen, has super high arts per second. Amazing equip. Also, it gives you equipment CT down as well as a passive. Another thing that I want to recommend here is Count Reyes' Rapier. Is not an equip that I would say is good all the time, but is a really good nuking equip. It's able to increase everybody's attack. There's really not much to say here apart from this thing makes you go Oonga Boonga. Makes you deal the big damage. And then, of course, the last thing that I want to mention before we go any further with the 5-star physicals is that if you are missing a specific true weapon for a character that you use a lot and it's on this and it's a physical item, that may be on your radar. Remember, go into this with multiple goals. Don't just hone in on one thing. Go in with multiple so you have a better chance of getting something you want or need. If you go in with only one goal, it's a higher chance that you're going to get cucked and not get what you need. Trust me, it's happened to me multiple times. Moving on to the magic items now. There's not too many here compared to the physical items, but still some pretty good stuff. So first and foremost, I'm going to recommend something that is amazing for everybody that uses magic items, and that is going to be Dark Zeorg's True Weapon. Dark Zeorg's True Weapon is amazing, OP. It's literally one of the best items in the game. This thing is about on the level of actually pulling a unit. It's so good. For any type of attacker that uses Dark Zeorg's True Weapon or uses a 5-star magic, let me say, you can slop Dark Zeorg's True Weapon on them and they practically become immortal. Yusuke, great example. Shuri, amazing example. Berwick, another really good example. The reason why it's so good, because people may be asking that, this thing gives you arts damage up and art gauge on its skill, so as soon as you use it, that's what it gives you. And then when near death, you lifesteal for, I think it's 3 or 2% of the damage that you deal. And you may think that's not a lot, but whenever you have a unit hitting for over 500k damage per hit or something like that, that is gonna full heal you. Like, no lie, whenever Shuri uses this with her true art, she full heals from it every single time if she's on low health. So this is one of the best items in the entire game. Highly recommend that you guys get it because it's literally so versatile. For other 5-star magics, of course, we're gonna be going with the True Nemesis Crow. True Nemesis Crow is like the be-all end-all thing to making mono dark work. And if you're gonna be mono dark nuking, this is a must get pretty much, because reducing elemental resist in this game is one of the strongest debuffs that you can do in terms of your damage. So highly recommend that you pick up True Nemesis Crow. And also go for Tamame's True Weapon or Baku's True Weapon. They do something similar. But the thing is that I think True Nemesis Crow does the most overall. So if you are needing that dark resist down for your mono dark teams, highly recommend you go for one of these three. But just know that True Nemesis Crow gives you the most dark resist down at 50%. Another item that is really good for nuking specifically is going to be Darkfin's True Weapon. Darkfin's True Weapon increases the damage to enemies by 30%, which is completely disgusting, super nasty. If you are nuking and you have a nuker on the team that has a 5-star magic slot, you slot this bad boy in there and the entire team's damage is going to skyrocket like crazy. There's not much else to say from this apart from if you are a nuker and you like nuking stuff, make sure you pick up this because it's going to be insane amounts of damage. As for everything else, it pretty much is the same as I said last time with the 5-star physicals. If you are going for somebody that you use a lot, you need their True Weapon, you may also want to put that on your list. Keep that in mind. Also, I know Victor's True Weapon is on here, which is a very popular True Weapon in terms of light damage nuking. So if you want to do that, make sure you go for this. Now moving on to our defense items. Thankfully, there's not too many in here, but there is some very, very top tier ones. So first and foremost, defense equips I think are probably the ones that are the most unexciting batch from all of this, to be honest, and maybe even healing, you would say. But defense items are, of course, the core to any type of in-game content. You're going to be needing these bad boys. So I'm going to be recommending pretty much every single one that I see that is overly top tier that you can't get all the time, that is maybe limited. So first and foremost is going to be a 3-star. Yes, you heard me right, a 3-star, which is Ganon Sandals. Ganon Sandals is amazing against any kind of fire damage boss. For example, Ganon himself. It works amazing against. There's so many different bosses that you will take the Ganon Sandals in and you'll be completely fine in terms of the damage that they're dealing and all that. You won't have to worry about fire damage whatsoever. This thing, which is going to be Iris's Frilly Bikini. This thing is amazing for any kind of fire or water damage fight that you're going to be going against. So Vitz, Ganon, anything like that in the future, Iris's Frilly Bikini is your go-to for that. Amazing, amazing defense equip here. One of the best ones in the entire game, incredibly flexible. Highly recommend that you pick this up if you don't have it. Another defense equip that's on here that people actually recommend, but I personally have not used, is Celia's Perio. This is pretty much just a flat damage resist item. I think as long as you're above 25% HP or something like that. Like I said, I've never used it and I haven't seen too many people use it, but people say this is an amazing, amazing equip. Now, one of the true weapons that I will recommend that is good for any taunt tank, including himself, is going to be Thetis' True Weapon. One of the best true weapons to have in the entire game if you are using it for damage mitigation, specifically on a taunt tank. This is amazing on Thetis. It's like a must-have on him. If you don't have it on him, you're doing it wrong, let me tell you. And if you're using other taunt tanks, to be honest, they're using Thetis' True Weapon because it's insane in terms of just the raw damage resist and everything else. Also, another true weapon that I recommend that is good for any unit in the game is going to be Sandstone's True Weapon. Amazing. Not much to say here. Team-wide, 25% damage resist down. It gets increased if people are on lower HPs. Really good stuff. Love this item. Highly recommend you get it if you're using Sandstone or if you just need a general use good defensive item. Amazing, let me tell you. And last thing that I want to mention is Little Red Riding Mirror, which is a 5-star defense item. It's insanely good. This thing is also going to be reducing your damage, and it's going to be reducing your damage even further if you're going against a fire elemental boss. Tons of damage just on this. It also allows you to evade burn damage, which is really good. But if you're already going for something else that I've already mentioned that is countering fire damage, I don't think you really need Little Red Riding Mirror. Either way, it's still amazing. In terms of a defense equip, it's perfect against any fire boss because you're also evading the burn procs, which is amazing for any type of fire boss that has insanely high burn damage. Trust me, you're gonna want this on your team. And just overall, there's really nothing else you can say here. It's one of the best 5-star defense items in terms of fire damage there is in the game. Now, of course, there may be some that I didn't mention here, like True Raz, for example, is on here. That's an amazing item as well. Or one of the other bikini items, who knows? But this is the ones that I always see people asking for in terms of multiplayer. And this is the ones that I always see people being like, oh yeah, dude, I wish I had this, or I wish I had that. So that's why I recommended those. Of course, as always, I would recommend that you take a look at all of them just to see what you would need at the current moment. Next is healing items. Good lord. So the healing items, I'm gonna be honest, there is one item that sticks out to me super hard in this entire thing, and that is none other than Fina Devil Wings. Fina's Devil Wings is an absolute insane item. This is a 5-star heal. It's able to increase all statuses, yes, you heard me right, all statuses on a character, or on the whole team, let me say, by 35%, and heals everyone by 200 HP for 15 seconds. It's an amazing item. There's no other way to put it. Fina Devil Wings, if you see this baby pop up, you better not skip it, let me tell you. Finally, we get to my favorite category, and you already know what it is, baby. It's the support category. There's really nothing else to say about this. And there's a lot of good choices here. There really is. Let's go in with a 4-star, start off a little bit soft, and we're going to be talking about Fina Aloha Shorts. Now, Fina Aloha Shorts is regarded as one of the best 4-star equip items because it offers you Archgen and equipment CT down. Now, let me just say this. Fina Aloha Shorts is complete and utter garbage if you do not have good equips. If you're running like optimal equips, meta equips, let me say, you've been playing the game for a while, you big wellin or something like that, Fina Aloha Shorts get so much more value. But if you're running Fina Aloha Shorts with equips that aren't that great, then you're not going to really see a lot of benefit from using it. So I really wouldn't recommend Fina Aloha Shorts if you're a newer player to the game. But if you're an older player and you have a lot of good equips that you use on your team, a lot of top tier ones, you're running your Goku uniforms, your Malim clothes, and stuff like that, highly recommend that you use Fina Aloha Shorts. Another item that I recommend that you do get from this is that if you use Juno a lot, this is a very specific item, but I do want to mention this. If you use Juno a lot, I'm talking about a lot. You use her in the mines, and you use her pretty much anywhere. You may have seen a recent trend in needing a certain true weapon to really be pushing it in the mines. And this is more so for the hardcore players that like to go very deep in the mines. I absolutely think True EX Gate, which is Leon's true weapon, is a must get. If you're using Juno all the time, this is one of the best items for her because it allows her to get into her true art extremely quickly, and it also gives you the 100% crit chance to the whole team, so you're very easily able to clear a lot of different floors on the mines because of this. And whenever I'm referring to the floors, I'm not talking about the specific mine floors, by the way. I'm talking about each of the stages you have to fight before you get to the boss in mines. The deeper you go, the more and more these mobs get so annoying, and being able to clean those things up as soon as possible, the best case scenario, man, let me tell you. So True EX Gate, if you're a Juno lover and you're a Juno simp, whatever the case is, absolutely make sure you get it for her. It's one of the best items in the entire game. Just want to throw that out there. As for a really top tier item, I'm talking about extremely top tier item, let me tell you, that is insane for anybody to get. If you're missing an AoE Archgen item, there is an AoE Archgen item in this list, and it's stupid. And it's gonna be none other than Lisa's Smart Skirt. This thing is an insane item, let me tell you. 5-star support, it's able to give you art gauge to the entire team, 3 per second for 10 seconds, and it's also increasing all the stats on the team by 20%. It's one of the best 5-star support items in the entire game, has a 30-second cooldown, really good stuff. If you're lacking in a 5-star support item that's AoE and overtime Archgen, and you don't have this yet, highly recommend you get it. I guess as an honorable mention here, I'll also put Rosetta's True Weapon. It's pretty good if you need a AoE arch gen item that doesn't affect yourself. I don't like it too much because it doesn't give arch gen to the user, but it is there. You know, if you want an AoE arch gen item, you have that. But I would highly recommend that if you're going for something like that, just get Lisa Smart Skirt. It's so much better. And of course, the same thing that I said with the 5-star magics, the 5-star physicals, and I didn't say it in the 5-star defenses because I pretty much mentioned the main 2 true weapons. If you're going for a true weapon that is a support item true weapon and you use the character a lot, make sure you put that on your list. So if you use Lisa a lot and you don't have a true weapon, you maybe want to try to go for that or trying to get that part of your list. So with all that being said, we have finally come to the end of the video, and hopefully you have compiled yourself a nice little list from every single type of weapon that you want to go for. Personally, I would say the best case scenario is to put 1 weapon from each typing in the list so you have 5 different options. And if you go into the Forever Summon, make sure that you're getting something pretty OP. For me personally, if you want to know my list, don't let this list sway you at all. But for 5-star physicals, to be honest, there's not really any true weapon that I'm really looking for, so I'm not going to be going for anything like that. But mainly for 5-star physicals, I wouldn't mind getting Count Race's Rapier. For 5-star magic, I'm going to be mainly looking for, I think maybe Victor's true weapon, to be honest, because I wouldn't mind a light resist down true weapon for a nuking team. For the defense items, I pretty much have most of the top tier ones, but if I could get a different one or could get a new one, it would definitely be Little Red Riding Mira. For the healing items, it's definitely Fina Devil Wings. It's one of the best items in the game. If I could pick that up, it's gonna be amazing. And for the 5-star supports, I'm going mainly for Lisa Smart Skirt. But that's my list, guys. I highly recommend that you guys make a similar list. Not saying that you need to copy my list, but saying that at least pick 1 from each equipment type. Because the worst thing that you can do is go into this with like 1 goal in mind and you wind up getting cucked because you can't get that 1 item. Mind you, you have 28 days to do this, or technically 28 chances for you to get one of these equips. So I wish you guys all the luck. Hopefully none of us gets cucked too bad. But amen. Thank you all for coming out. If you want to know more about the Forever Summon, or the case may be, you'll be having videos pop up on your screen right now, and it'll take you to all of that. If you're still confused about the Forever Summon, I explain how to do Forever Summons multiple times on my channel, and this one is going to be no different. Amen. Thank you all for coming out again. It's been your boy P. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe for more. And last but not least, you guys already know, don't forget to drink water.